as we look to September and then beyond. It's Garlic Fries and Baseball Guys, Mark Willard, Joe Shasky. We ask you to rate, review, tell everybody that you've ever met all about this, especially if they're a Giants fan, because this is the Giants Fan Podcast by Giants fans. Rate, review, and subscribe. Don't miss an episode. Okay, so yeah, let's look. A couple points about September. First of all, if you've even got a headache, go to the IL. Get out of here. I want to see as many people, right? Longo can't run. Good night.
Yeah.
Slater can't field. Good night. Like Yaz can't find it. Good night. Make up an injury. I want everybody the hell out of the way so that when they can evaluate, and there's no win in winning right now. I mean, your draft pick only gets better.
Yes.
So I know Longo wants to fight through. That's because he's trying to get the contract.
Yeah.
You gotta get all these guys out of the way and call everyone up. That's number one. But number two, let's talk about some guys who are on the team who you may or may not want to see back. What were you kind of starting to insinuate there a couple of minutes ago?
I saw basically Farhan talk about Mike Yastrzemski, and the reality is that it was such a great story. I have an affinity for Mike Yastrzemski's story. He seems like a really good guy. I don't know him. You know what I mean? Like, this is a guy that was bouncing around the minors for what felt like a decade, and then the Giants find him, and he was like the first Farhan gem under the stone, if you will. And it had a magical moment to it. He was the team's best player, whatever it was, 2019. And he was a fantastic guy on the team. Even in 2020, I thought he was pretty good. 2021, He was dreadful. And it feels like this year in particular, the last 35 games, he's batting 110. Like, for him, 35. It is so bad. His offense is just, it's unwatchable, unbalanced at bat, swinging. I don't even know what his like, is he swinging at the first pitch? Is he trying to wait till a 2-strike count? I couldn't tell you what his approach is at the plate. I don't even know what he excels at the plate. He used to have a great batter eye. He used to be a balanced hitter that could hit all across the field. He does none of those things. Last year, down year, still had like 25 jacks. So there's no power. There's no contact. He's striking out way too much. He's a solid defender. He cannot be an everyday player next year. He has to be, at minimum, a defensive replacement late in games. I cannot, and it's not an indictment on the person. It's the player. They have got to upgrade the outfield, Mark.
Well, I just think he's got to go earn it. Obviously, he's got to, they've got to upgrade the outfield. They've got to upgrade everything. There's no position this year that nailed it. Not a one. Some of the starting pitchers, but outside of that, no position has been nailed down, and that's the way I want them to enter the season. Farhan did say they expect Mike Yastrzemski to be on the team next year, and we know why. He's dirt cheap.
Yes.
Even with his current batting average as of today, it's 202. They will come back with something that's going to make everybody roll their eyes, but they're going to come back and say his WAR was still 1.3.
And he does play great D. You got to give him credit. He plays great defense.
Right. Like, he's a player, and he's lost it for the last 6 weeks. I don't know if he's going to find it and get it back. He's certainly going to be given the opportunity, but if he gets to spring training and other people are beating him out for a gig, or if that even bleeds into the season, then they've got to react. I guess that's my big hope for next year. You have to react.
Yeah.
You have to, like, oh gosh, we don't have any relievers. You got to go get some relievers. Or, hey, the Dodgers went and got Freddie Freeman. Okay, react. Like, you got to, if something's not working, you got to switch it up. So to blindly give Mike Yastrzemski right field or center field next year, I'm out on that. I'm in on him being a part of the picture.
Yes.
But it's got to work. It has to work, or then you got to pivot.
Well, and this is where I would combine 3 players as we're talking about Yastrzemski. These 3 this year have been ridiculously redundant. Some have hit a little higher average. Some have more defensive versatility. Luis Gonzalez and Lamont Wade Jr., and then I throw in Yastrzemski. They're left-handed guys who don't hit righties very well, who play corner outfield positions, and it just seems to me like they're very, very, very redundant. And then you add in Jock Peterson as the other lefty in that outfield. They cannot have 5 guys that are all lefty hitters that don't hit well against righties. Like, it drives me nuts. And Lamont Wade is ice cold. I mean, I said this last week, but like, polar bears think this guy's cold right now.
No doubt. And then Jock Peterson was discussed as well, and they want him back. They said there are discussions ongoing with his agent. I will tell you, him hitting his 20th home run earlier this week in a way won't help, because Jock, like, even though we know the story of his season and it had major gaps in it, but he can walk to the free agent world with a resume of 20 home runs and an all-star appearance.
Yeah.
He's got that, and that's going to cost something. So is that someone that where you want to put some money? I mean, I actually will say this. I'm in on Jock returning, provided that it's not a crazy number, because in a weird way, and this almost sounds stupid, but they've got to spend it on someone.
Yeah.
Like, if the Giants are not in the top 10 in payroll at the start of next year, I'm taking a shot. Because it should never be that. The Giants should not be allowed to not be top 10 in payroll. They started this year at 13, and they're threatening to go down if Rodon leaves, and if you don't bring Longo back, and Belt is going to leave. I mean, we've talked about it. If Rodon leaves and Longoria's option is not picked up, the current payroll for the Giants will be $65 million. That's it.
I know.
You need to spend over $100 million to get back into the top 10, and they should spend it. Yeah. And so, do you go get Jock for 10? Sure. Go get Jock for 10.
So there's a couple things here. You can bring Jock back. I have no problem bringing Jock back. That cannot be the only thing that you're doing, though, right?
No.
I mean, great point. And we talked about Brandon Belt being kind of miscast as a 3-4-5 hitter throughout his entirety of his career. Jock this year, in an ideal world, Posey comes back, and let's just say he was on last year's team, right? For example, well, he would have been like 6th or 7th, because you would have had Belt and Posey and Chris Bryant, and maybe you squeeze Crawford in there before you get to Jock Peterson, or maybe you flip-flop because of the year that they had, and he's batting 6th. I mean, how much better is a lineup with Jock Peterson playing outfield every now and then? Maybe he's DHing and he's batting 6th, Mark. This year he's been their 3-hitter. I mean, they've had nothing. And when he's not 3, he's 4.
So here's the only issue with Jock, because if you say we're on the market to get 3 to 5 everyday players, well, he's not one of them.
No,
because he's not. He's not that.
He's in 2 out of 3 days.
Yeah, he can be on the team, but he is not an everyday player. Mm-hmm. So if you're going to bring him back, and if Wade is going to be back, and if Yaz is going to be back,
do you want Wade back?
I'm totally open to him competing for a role, but he's got to go win it. He's got to go win it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to look at all of these years the same. You had a bad year this year. You had a good year last year.
Great year.
So show me next April which one you are.
Yeah.
Or next March. You got it. Like, yeah, he's going to get a shot, and I'm fine with him getting a shot, but I'm not fine with him getting a roster spot just because he's been there before.
I'm with you on that, because I'm way less enthusiastic about Lamont Wade Jr. I feel like we were waiting. Oh, they're going to get Lamont back. And then he came back, and he's batting like 170, 165 right, or whatever it is. I mean, he's batting 103 against righties. And then defensively, he's been real suspect at first. And I know he's playing there because they don't have a lot of options, with Ruff getting traded and Belt getting hurt. But again, the Luis Gonzalez, Yaz, Lamont Wade trio, if you will, has given them almost nothing for about 2 months.
I mean, the bottom line is this: where are the openings for an everyday player? Because if you're going to bring Jock back, Slater's going to be on the team,
and he should.
Yeah, he should.
Slater's had a really good year. As much as people want to point to him, he's been very good.
Solid baseball player.
Absolutely.
Right? So Slater's on the team. Yaz is going to be on the team. Is Wade going to be on the team? I have no idea. Is JD Davis going to be on the team? Probably. Tyro Estrada is going to be on the team.
And he deserves it.
And he should be. Tommy LaStella. This will not be great for Tommy LaStella is going to be on the team.
God.
One of your everyday players is Brandon Crawford. And they're going to come back and say that. You watch. They'll be like, well, we've already got one. It's Brandon Crawford. They may say Joey Bart is 2. But if you need 3 to 5, where are your spots? Your spots feel to me like the potentially the corner outfield spots, and the corners of the infield.
Yes.
First base, third base, right field, left field. You need to fill at least 2
yes
of those 4 with a person that you can pencil in for 130 plus games as a starter next year.
Yeah, well, and this, you're talking about September call-ups. Like, this leads right into where is Elliot Ramos? Like I get it. Okay, he hasn't really done much in AAA. Newsflash, no one's done anything at the big league level, and whatever he's hitting in AAA is actually infinitely better than the output that you've been getting from those three guys that I referenced earlier. So, you need a right-hander. You need some youth. You need a little speed. Like, what are we waiting for? Because even if, let's just say, Mark, let's say he comes up, he doesn't show a lot. Well, then I can maybe put a permanent marker through his name moving forward. And I at least know, all right, we turn that card over. He's probably not going to be anything. Don't hold out hope the way we did this year for Lamont Wade Jr. coming back.
Lou Brinson?
Actually, I don't. Look, this is going to sound crazy. I don't hate it because at one time he was a top prospect for the Marlins. He's from South Florida. I like Lou Brinson because he's the guy who hit the fly ball in the meaningless game that drove in a run, and Hunter Strickland went crazy because he, did some sort of showboat thing on a fly ball, and Hunter Strickland was so angry, he went into the dugout or in the clubhouse and broke his wrist or his arm punching a wall. I'm a Lou Brinson guy. Why not? I know he's 28 years old. He's bounced around. Dude. Why not? I mean, at this point, Mark, why not?
No, it's why not. Why not? At the same time, I mean, he's been playing really well at AAA this year in the Houston organization, and so that's what's going to get him a look. But by the same token, he was in the bigs by 2017. He's got a career batting average of 199 and a career OPS of 570. That's what you got. And this is somebody now that's had over 1,000 big league at bats.
What's he, 29, 30?
No, what's that? His age?
How old is he? Yeah.
Yeah, no. You had it right. He's 28.
28. Okay, 28. Yeah. I mean, but again, this is where we're at. We're literally just flipping the cards over at the roulette table, and at the poker table, excuse me, and we're just seeing if we could find a jack. I mean, that's really all we're looking for.
Yeah. I mean, and who knows? Maybe they've done that before. And again, maybe he found something, and it's not like it cost him a whole lot to acquire the guy. But this is the issue. We've said it. We've heard a bunch of people say it. If you keep trying to compete on the margins, then you will be marginal. That's exactly that's what you're going to be. That's what and that's all they've been doing. Oh. So they can keep doing that, but there's got to be a core, and it's really hard to snap your fingers and create that.
Well, the thing that really it hurts my soul as a baseball fan. This has been a great summer. Albert Pujols is chasing 700. You know what I mean? You got Aaron Judge going for home run records in New York. You've got all of the crazy shenanigans that the Braves are doing on a nightly basis. The Dodgers are on pace to break their record from last year, which is insane to say out loud. You referenced Shohei Ohtani. This has been such an unbelievable baseball season, and I feel like the guy on the outside looking in, almost like I'm looking at the kittens through the mall, and I'm like, I want to be in there snuggling the puppies and the kittens, and I can't. It hurts my soul. Yeah,
but I'd love to see somebody come up in September and grab our attention.
I totally agree.
And then the Giants are going to have to do something that is very, very out of character, which is grab our attention in the winter. And so look, there's no two ways about it. And the only good thing you can say today is that I think they know.
Yeah. When was the last time you think the Giants won the hot stove, winter meetings? If going back, I don't even think they won it when they did land Cueto and
Cueto and Samardzija was an inch. That was definitely a big 1-2 punch.
Yeah, it was big.
That was a big 1-2 punch. Zito.
Zito's a good one. 06,
Zito,
yeah.
Zito
That's a good one.
Was a big one.
That's a good one.
Look, this group, I mean, they don't even do winter. They wait until spring to even bring anybody in. So that's my big ask is do something in the winter.
They see the free agent shadow and they just go right back into the hole.
My gosh, no joke. All right. Back with you Sunday after the weekend series where we check in on Lou Brinson. That's coming up this weekend. Make sure you're with us. The best way to do that is to subscribe to Garlic Fries and Baseball Guys.